Leipzig Travel Guide. Leipzig is among the trendiest and most vibrant cities in Germany and currently holds the title for the highest population growth rate in the country. And I would like to introduce you to this city in the next 15 to 20 minutes and simply present and recommend the sights, but also the nightlife and the hotels. Let's begin with the sights of Leipzig. And we commence with the most significant site, the Monument to the Battle of the Nations. The Monument to the Battle of the Nations is located in the southeast of the city. It is here. It is a monument to the war around Napoleon, and it is the largest monument in Europe. And it's lovely to visit. You can take a walk there. There's a small park nearby, along with a lake. And you can also run inside. There are steps that you can utilize to walk up to the magnificent monument structure. An elevator can go up to halfway if desired, but there is a beautiful view of the city and the region. You can see the Leipzig lakes from there, from the monument above. It's important to visit the Hall of Fame inside, which is beautiful and has a special atmosphere, so be sure to visit the Völkerschlachtdenkmal. Let's go with you to the city center. The center of the city is very well renovated. There are numerous well-renovated houses, and that is simply because there was a construction boom in the 1990s, and almost the entire city center was renovated once more. And today, it possesses an incomparable charm. It is definitely worth going. So, however, we then commence our journey with a visit to the Naschmarkt. And there is the Old Stock Exchange. And this is a Baroque building from the 17th century. And I can recommend it to you. Go there sometime. There are also many restaurants around the Old Stock Exchange. It is a beautiful site. And right next to it here, you can find the historic Old Town Hall building. It looks old. The new town hall in Leipzig also looks old, but this is even older. Therefore, it is the Old Town Hall. And in the Old Town Hall, you will find the Museum of City History, a model of the city, which is also very beautiful, and also a very impressive museum. I can only recommend you to go there. When we are in the center, we will make our way straight to the Thomaskirche. In the Thomaskirche, situated here on the left, we can see an old church building where Johann Sebastian Bach, a renowned composer, also worked and created his musical masterpieces. He was present as a cantor and also actively involved in making music at that location for a number of years. And definitely worth a visit, the St. Thomas Church. And on the other side of the city center is the Nikolaikirche. It is situated in this place. The Nikolaikirche is a church that has turned into a symbol of the peaceful revolution in Germany. In that location, the protests against the GDR regime in East Germany commenced. And that is also the point in time when all the Monday prayers and Monday demonstrations initiated. This is the focal point of history that you have the opportunity to examine here in the Nikolaikirche. And when we are on this topic, on the protests against the GDR regime, here is the Contemporary History Forum right next to it, and it includes an exhibition on the peaceful revolution that took place in Leipzig and started from Leipzig, which is a significant historical event. Definitely recommended. If we choose to stay in the city center, we can easily watch the opera and attend concerts at the renowned Gewandhaus here. The Gewandhaus is a GDR building from the 1970s. There is one of the best concert halls. There, the star conductor Kurt Masur also worked and had an impact. That means this is to be seen here, and the opera opposite is famous for its ballet performances and for its opera performances. Very, very beautiful to visit. Moreover, we can ascend to the main train station in this location. It is the biggest terminal station in Europe. The building is impressive, and it is also the most visited building in all of Saxony, where Leipzig is located, also worth a recommendation. It is definitely a must-see attraction. And it is a mixture of train station and shopping centers. When it was built, relatively new, that's how it was done, and it's a real success story. The main train station of Leipzig is definitely worth a visit. And if you also arrive by plane, the airport shuttles also end at the main train station. Yes, now it may be that you say, we want to have a bit of culture and cultural life, and Leipzig is known for its gallery scene, for the artists who work there, And for that, you have to go to the Leipzig West, and here you go further, here you go further, here you go further, and there the Leipzig cotton spinning mill begins. This is an area where an old cotton spinning mill used to be, and now artists have settled in this spinning mill. There are startups and scenes over there. Additionally, there are art shops and galleries nearby. An absolute must. And it is also the case that regular tours take place there. That means all galleries and artists have opened their studios. And that's like a little biennial, making it a happening, really beautiful. I can only suggest making a stop at that place. If you happen to visit the city with children, you will find the Unicatum Children's Museum located nearby. A small museum where you can have an experience with children. It is beautiful and definitely worth a recommendation from my side, in my opinion. These are the sights of Leipzig in a nutshell. There is a great deal more. If I have overlooked anything and if you have visited anything else, please write it in the comments. We're going back a bit to the sporty and also to the children. Firstly, I'd like to show you the parks of Leipzig. Leipzig is crisscrossed by a natural forest, which I'll show you first. It goes from up here to down here all the way to the lakes nearby. And that is very beautiful. And if you are traveling with a child, there are 3 points that you can still visit with children. The one that is located here is the Leipzig floodplain forest, and there at that place, now I have to take a quick look, that is also Finde. Yes, a little further north here there is the Auensee, and there is a park railway around the lake. A tiny train that can leave a lasting impression on children between the ages of 3 and 6 or possibly 7. And the park railway is a beautiful route where you can drive around the lake, a short distance of 15 minutes. The second thing is, when we are here in the park, the Leipzig Zoo is a must to visit. It is frequently given the title of the most beautiful zoo. And within the zoo, there is an area known as Gondwanaland. The Gondwanaland is a tropical hall where you can go even during winter and have a tropical feeling and see many, many animals. And there's a path there where you can walk through the hall for 20 minutes, which is really well laid out. A clear recommendation, Gondwanaland. And if we now go south, there's still Leipzig Wildlife Park. The Wildlife Park is a park where you can watch wild animals. There is not even an entrance fee. You can enter without paying. Additionally, there's a recommendation. So now I'd like to recommend the lakes of Leipzig to you. And in the southern part of Leipzig, there is the Kosbudener Lake. Here, I want to show you on the map, there is a real sandy beach. And you can imagine you are in Mallorca or you are somewhere on the Baltic Sea. It is a beautiful wide sandy beach. You see it here. And my recommendation for that is the Hacienda Kosbudene. There you can truly sit outside with beer on a hot summer day and appreciate the city. Definitely worth going there for a round. You can easily reach this beautiful beach by bicycle in just 30 minutes from the bustling city center. There are also different lakes, like Lake Markliberg. Then there is also a lake here, another lake here, and in the north of the city, there is also another lake and another lake. These lakes have been formed, they are former lignite mines. That means brown coal was extracted there until 20 or 30 years ago, and then these lakes were created by flooding the mines. And it's a unique natural landscape that has emerged as a result. And it's worth visiting Leipzig for that reason alone, also to see the lakes. You can also take part in water sports in Leipzig. There are a multitude of canoe rental stations where you can rent paddle boats and where you can then paddle through the beautiful waters of the city. I will try to show you. You can see a large water landscape here. There are rivers inside, and you can explore everything with a paddle boat. It offers a lot of sports and is definitely worth it. And here is also the Clara Zetkin Park, a very inner city park, which is very close because here is the town hall, the new town hall, which doesn't look new at all, but it is the new town hall which is right here. BTW FYI, we link all these things I mentioned in the video description with the Google Maps link. So you don't have to write everything down, but you can simply use the Google Maps links. So now we come to the practical part. If you visit Leipzig, you have the option to travel to Leipzig by train from almost any location in Europe. You can discover this Here is the train station, and there you can make your way to Leipzig. Connections, follow-up connections from Zurich, excellent train connections available. Even from London, one can manage to get to Leipzig easily, and also from Scandinavia, with the night trains, for example, if you come from Stockholm, you can also reach Leipzig very, very well by taking the night train from Stockholm to Berlin, and then you are in Leipzig in 1 hour. That means Leipzig is very easily accessible. However, we also have an airport, and it is located here. However, most connections in Frankfurt require train changes. For instance, a traveler from the USA would transfer in Frankfurt or Munich and then proceed to Leipzig by air. And there's a convenient S-Bahn station here for everyone, partly serving as an intercity station as well. At least once or twice an hour, a train takes you to the city center in just a few minutes, and then you also arrive at the main train station here. And Leipzig is also easily accessible by motorway. I will demonstrate the highways to you. From Berlin, it takes slightly less than 2 hours. From Munich, it takes a total of 4 hours by car. And from Prague, you can reach Leipzig in approximately 2 to 2.5 hours. So everything is very easy to reach. So before we get to the nightlife, then again the note for the hotels. I have a couple of hotel suggestions, but they are not comprehensive, and I simply want to briefly recommend them to you. The first is the Leipzig Marriott Hotel. It's located between the train station and the city center, right in the city center. Has, as one can imagine, a Marriott hotel, super good rooms, a nice bar, and when you go out, you find yourself in the city center. Next to the Marriott, there is the Ibis Hotel, which is a bit cheaper from the French chain, but also in a similarly good location, very, very convenient to take and book, and there are 3 Motel 1s. This is the third recommendation I have for Leipzig. This is also in a slightly lower price range, and there are 1, 2, 3 Motel 1s. The one here at Augustusplatz, and very well located. So once here and once here. I'm not seeing that right now, but there's also a Motel 1. 3 instances of the Motel 1 for overnight accommodations in Leipzig. And in other cases, you can browse on the platform, you look, oh, here it is now displayed, here is the Motel 1. It also has a lovely view overlooking the city, which is worth visiting. So now let's move on to the nightlife. Because the nightlife scene is highly extensive in Leipzig, and I would love to demonstrate the various areas where you can enjoy a night out in Leipzig initially. So, that is the city center. Here is the so-called Barfußgässchen, and here are a multitude of pubs with outdoor seating, and that is precisely where Leipzig's vibrant nightlife originated. Someone in the 90s took an old empty shop, put 2 beer benches in it, and transformed it into a pub. A bar, just like that. Today, the Barfuß is no longer recognizable. But in any case, this whole street here, the Barefoot Alley, is worth a visit for anyone interested in nightlife. Here there is a lot. There is also the Augustiner am Markt, for example, or the Weinstock. And you see here everything is full of pubs in the city center. That is not so common in Germany. But in Leipzig, there's a lively nightlife in the city center. In the south, there's Karl-Liebknecht-Straße, and there was also a lot of nightlife. There's still a lot of nightlife today. And it is definitely worth going there, whether it is the Volkshaus or the Kiliwili, which is an Irish pub that you should definitely visit. And this is the center here, where there are a multitude of pubs, where a great number of young people go out and go. But the very young ones don't go there yet. The very young ones still go to 2 places in Leipzig. One of the streets is the Eisenbahnstraße. It is known for being a bit notorious because we have a very large proportion of international guests residing there. And it is like that there. That many bars have emerged there in recent years, which are really cool, and they are very, very simple. If you want to have the old flair of the 90s, go to Eisenbahnstraße. You are here. And here there are lots and lots of pubs where you can go, where it's worth it. And I also know many people, young people, who go there and simply drink beer. Now, I have to say, maybe it's not quite suitable for my age anymore, but it's a cool nightlife area here in the eastern part of the city. And let's head to the west. I recently read that the New York Times even stated that this is the trendiest neighborhood in the entire world. This is Leipzig Plagwitz, and there are also numerous pubs here. Especially famous is the Noch besser Leben, that's the name of the pub. And there you can sit outside in the summer, smoking is allowed inside. And here on this street you simply walk along and you will find many pubs to go out, some of which are open until late at night. That means here Leipzig notices Plagwitz is also a great area. The Georg Schwarz Street is a district known for its pubs. There is currently a development happening. This is just the beginning of a development, but it's also worth going there. This is here. We also link it below for you so that you have it easily and so that you know where you can simply enjoy the nightlife of Leipzig. That's it from me in Leipzig. If you have questions, feel free to comment. We'll try to answer. If you liked the video, please like or subscribe. Thank you for your support. We want to expand on this. If you have any specific city requests for a tour guide, please let us know. A small personal recommendation in the end. If you are already in Leipzig, I also recommend visiting the Seifen Christmas Village again. It is a 2-hour drive from Leipzig, specifically down here to the spa town of Seifen. And there it's Christmas all year round. And there is a breathtakingly beautiful church there that you can visit and admire. And it's a Christmas feeling that lasts all year. So a small recommendation, soaps. And now there's an English city tour provided by Soap.